How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Gameswell Show. This is Andrew, and today we have Jessica, and just Jessica. There's no third person today due to everyone's crazy schedules this week. It's just going to be the two of us talking about video games.
It's pretty much actually just because he likes me more than the other guys.
That's also true. That's also true. But This is Subtrendy's video game talk show. Dan does the backlog where he plays video games. And Thomas does the boardroom where he plays board games, but this is the video game show. So
the elite.
Yes, the best of the best. We're gonna start the show off the same way we start off every show and ask, what have you been playing lately?
Oh man, what have I been playing lately? Oh, hi Kitty. Okay. I have been playing, I took a break from Stardew Valley because I've realized that I can't live my life in an alternate life. That sounds really sad, but I was like, I gotta step away. I've had finals week this week, so yeah, it's probably a good thing I stepped away. And then I've been playing, I started Uncharted actually, so I'm trying to work my way through that series. I'm not gonna be able to finish it in time for the fourth one.
Next week.
Because that's next week, and I don't know, I'm almost done with the first one, so... And honestly, like, that has taken me two sit downs, and not even long sit downs, like a few hours.
They're not long.
It's not, it's not a long game. No. So there might be a slim chance that since I have my last final tomorrow, maybe, but it's not likely. And then I also plan on picking up here pretty soon Persona 4. I'm gonna actually like finish that here pretty soon. Like I want to start and I want to complete this game. So I feel like it's very like ballsy being like, I'm going to complete that soon because I need to actually start it, but... Yeah,
I mean, it's easily a 70-hour game.
Oh god, really? Okay, well, and maybe like in the next few weeks.
My two playthroughs took me 120 hours.
Wow.
And the second playthrough is obviously much faster than the first.
I feel like I play games a little faster than you, though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's true, but I mean, there's...
Actually, maybe I don't. Maybe I am a lot, because like now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, eh.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how long it takes you. It records how long it's taking you, so...
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
I always, like, none of my times, as far as, like, how long it's taken me to play a game are ever accurate, though.
Oh, I know.
Because I always, like, pause my game for 5 hours and go do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you played Skyward Sword, I mean, it had you, like, 100 hours to finish the game. That's not a 100-hour game. Like, not even close.
It was so bad back in the days of, like, PlayStation 2 and stuff like that, or, like, PS, just the regular PS, because... save points, so like you had save points, and you had like at Harvest Moon. I guess that's what I go do because like Stardew Valley, it's a life stealer. You can only save at the end of night, so like that limited save time, if you have to go and do something, like I was horrible. I would have my PlayStation on just like for days.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would just turn off my monitor, like my TV.
I don't know how you guys didn't go through multiple PlayStations with how often you kept yours on.
Old game consoles, man.
Yeah.
They are, I will defend them forever. You could play baseball with them and they'd still work.
Yep.
So.
Speaking of 100-hour games, though.
Yes, what have you been playing, Andrew?
I've been playing The Witcher 3.
Oh my god, he has been playing The Witcher 3. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's really good. I mean, we talked about the show, we talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago with Thomas and Dan about games I thought might be too big. I stand by it. It's still way too big, but I mean, it's worth it.
You had like a really, because, okay, The Witcher is definitely the type of game that you and I both like. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
But when you started playing it, you had kind of a negative reaction like the first few weeks, and even I was kind of like jumping on that bandwagon because I watched you play it. But you flipped. Like, I remember you texted me, and you were like, I just realized why this is a good game. So do you want to, like...
Yeah, when I first started playing it, like, it was just so overwhelmingly big, and I felt like I was just I wasn't even treading water. I was just, like, slowly drowning. And I got to the point, the point in the story where, you go underground with Kira, and you're looking for something, and you get attacked, and I couldn't beat the enemies down there. I was just like, why can't I do this? This should be easier. And then I realized I hadn't been going and doing enough quests. I was way too underleveled, and I was just trying to bull my way through it, and it's just not a game you can bull your way through. And so I loaded a few saves previous and started and did some more side quests, and when I got to that point again, I just breezed through it. But I'm really liking it. The Witcher contracts are so fun, and just everyone's different stories that you end up doing, and it's...
Yeah, because I remember my first impression was like, and I don't even like this movie, but I was just like into the woods, because it's like, I need the shoe to have a child, and like, that was like all I was seeing. Like, I remember I was sitting in the room doing homework, and Andrew was playing The Witcher, and like 4 days later, I just started listening in again, you know, like hearing it while I'm doing something else. And he was literally still trying to find the same person so that she could tell them where to find the person that he's looking for is. And I was like, you still haven't found this lady who's going to tell you where the other lady is. No. So you're doing a quest for this guy who might know where the person is who knows where that lady is so you can find that lady.
Yep.
And I was like baffled. I was like, this is like an online game, but like an MMO, but worse.
Yeah, it's, I mean... My biggest complaint is the Wild Hunt, who's like the main antagonist, isn't really present very much. You see him a couple times at the beginning, and then it's been probably about 30 or 40 hours since I've seen them.
I agree with you. Like, I don't like games where you don't see the antagonist that much. Like, I like it to be kind of... I mean, you don't have to see him all the time, or her, or whatever.
But just like a nice reminder of like...
Like a looming threat.
Yeah, like who you're actually fighting, like, and yeah.
Like, for instance, like, Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth is shown, I feel like, it's like such a good quality. Yeah. He's established as a character, you know what I mean? Like, you know... I really like, that's a good amount.
Yeah, that's my only complaint with the game, is I wish the Wild Hunt was, you were reminded they were the actual bad guy, because I mean, you can get so lost in different people's side quests and their petty problems. Well, not really petty problems. Some of them have pretty big problems. And then like the Witcher contracts with the giant monsters, hunting them and stuff like that. You get lost in that. You're like, what am I doing? Like, okay, find Ciri, but why? Why am I trying to find
That is one thing I noticed with The Witcher, though, is like all of the side stories are really intense.
Yes, they are.
You know, like there was this whole like abusive husband miscarriage sideline that was like really intense. really early.
Yeah, they really just throw you in.
And there's been a few others I can't think of. That was the first one I remember, because I just remember watching. I was like, that's dark. Like,
you don't even know.
No, I know like a little bit of it, but like, yeah, just between that and I don't know. There's a few others, but they can get pretty dark. So it's cool to not have, and that's where it differentiates from like an MMO, because in an MMO it's always like, help, I lost my sheep, kill 10 trolls, and you know, like
they'll magically appear.
Exactly. So like with this one, it's like, no, this is a real issue. You feel like you make moral choices, you care about these characters, and you want to help, or maybe not help if you're a jerk.
I was talking to a friend specifically about that question, or that quest with the Red Baron, and he was like, well, what'd you do? And I told him, he's like, oh no. I was like, what'd you do? He's like, I did the complete opposite and everything turned out fine. I was like, oh, whoops. And just like...
How did it turn out for you?
No, I'm not gonna say.
You're not gonna say it?
No.
Well, I don't mean like the specifics, but it was a bad or good?
Yeah, no, it did not end up well.
Oh.
It ended up very poorly.
Oh.
So, yes, very poorly.
Well, who's it, like Jacob?
No, Russ.
Russ. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense, But that's really funny.
This is not a Witcher review, so we're gonna...
No, it's not. But you know what? We are lacking another person.
That's true.
I feel like we're making up for that time lost.
That's true. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Let's talk about topics.
Let's talk about topics.
As usual, I'm gonna let you start.
Okay.
I'm gonna save my topic for last.
It's the most important.
No.
That's why he's at the head of the table. He's the most important. You are kind of the most important, though. You're the host.
I'm not gonna argue.
Okay, so my topic today is multiplayer arena battle games. And not really necessarily MOBAs.
Yeah.
Because, well, I guess that is exactly what I said. That is exactly what I said.
A MOBA.
Yeah, I just like rephrase the order. So MOBAs, but I guess not traditionally, not necessarily just like League of Legends, Dota style MOBAs, because some of these kind of break out. But we are seeing a massive amounts, and I guess there's like 4 big ones, of MOBAs right now. And why is that? What differentiates them between each other? Like, which one are we most excited for?
Because you and I both have had hands-on with the big 3, or I've had hands-on with all of the big 3. You've had hands-on with 2 of them.
Yes, I've played Smite, and I have played, actually no, I think only
one.
Yeah, I've played Smite. I've been meaning to play Overwatch. I want to play that, but there's Smite, there's Overwatch.
Overwatch isn't really a MOBA.
But it's like that same sort of like online multiplayer fighting
kind
thing.
of.
That's what I'm trying. See, that's what I was saying. It's not exactly a MOBA, but it's like these online, pretty much like they're supposed to be online multiplayer. Like that's their purpose, and it's a sort of like fighting, capture the flag, and you know what I mean. Like there's different aspects to it. It's just, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you pick characters from a certain, like, selection of characters.
Roster, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing, is the selecting of the characters. It's really the thing that's really coming into its own. Because, I mean, Overwatch very easily could have been something like Star Wars Battlefront, where it was just an online-only shooter. Because in essence, that's really what it is. But this specific character, like these builds that you have to use.
Well, they've done the really interesting thing, too, of incorporating, like, trailers. They're like, more than trailers. They're short films for each character.
Yeah.
So, like, you feel like... Because they have what? They have the one for Black Widow, Widowmaker. And they have one for the Gorilla Guy.
Yeah.
Science. Winston?
Winston. I always want to call him Seymour.
That seems like a... Winston, Seymour? Like, I feel like, what's the one... What's, like, the other, like, really common, like, large gorilla name?
I don't know.
Okay, there's, like, one. That seems like a really weird thing to say, but I feel like there is one.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
But yeah, no, it's so kind of like what you were saying as far as like characters go, it makes it to where you're like, oh, I really like those characters, I like their backstory, you're like, they're sassy, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually...
Am I missing one of those MOBAs? Like, by the way...
Paragon, Smite...
Paragon, I didn't say Paragon.
Yeah, Paragon, Smite, Overwatch, and Battleborn.
Yes, that's the four that I was talking about.
Yeah, and all of them have that defined character with these skills. Excuse me. The only thing I would actually complain about with Overwatch is it's not MOBA enough. You don't get the level up in the allocating of the skills. There's your skills, go.
Yeah.
That was my only really big complaint with it, because I was expecting more of a MOBA out of it, but it's still a lot of fun. So yeah, you've actually played Smite more than I have.
Yeah, I think so. Just because I've been playing with Dan. I mean, not a ton.
And
but
Taylor.
And Taylor and I. Taylor and I had a night where we kind of switched off because she's not a PS4 owner, but she Taylor's not a gamer or anything like that. She doesn't own a console, but she really loves video games, and she's good at it. So like, it's really fun when she comes over and we play. And Smite was one of those games that I kind of love MOBAs because I do love the character aspect. So it was so much fun with her to just sit and like look through all of the Smite heroes and all the different.
Too.
Yeah, there's like 70 probably, and all of the different skins that they have. Some of them are just hilarious, and then others we were like, that's some good design. So, and she's really, she's an English major. She's really into mythology. So for her, it was really cool to see all the different. And I'm interested in that too. So, yeah, that's something that I really like about all of these though. Is I feel like they all have, maybe Paragon a little less so, but they all have pretty strong characters and art.
Paragon, I would agree, is probably the weakest as far as like, I care about what these characters, like I care about how these characters look.
Yeah.
When I was browsing through the Paragon heroes when I was playing it, none of them really grabbed my attention. I was like, okay.
So you just play as like the big disgusting. Oh wait, no, that's the other game.
I was playing as Rampage.
Rampage, yeah, the one who you said looks like Doomsday.
Yeah, Fish Doomsday.
No, the other, what's the game? The Battleborn is the one where you're...
No, Overwatch.
Is where the big disgusting?
Yeah, Roadhog.
See, this is what I mean. There's so many of them coming out. I'm getting mixed up.
The thing is like, Overwatch and Battleborn both come out this month. Battleborn came out this week.
Yeah.
I still haven't grabbed it yet.
Overwatch comes out in 2?
3 weeks. End of the month.
3.
Yeah,
okay. I thought it was...
24th, something like that.
See, I thought it was the 20th, but I just thought that was in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My time is...
Yeah, so about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, it'd be the 24th. 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then Smite's in open beta.
Yeah.
I believe it's an open beta.
Did it get pushed to I don't know.
Maybe
it might
its
be
official launch is supposed to be in like June or July.
Okay, so it's probably just still in beta.
I know you and I got invited from Dan. I don't know how he got keys, but it might be.
He's Dan.
Yeah. And Paragon is currently stress testing.
And you got invited to that.
Yeah, I got invited to that, and there's another weekend open this weekend. I played Battleborn a couple months ago for closed beta. I didn't like it.
Really? Which is unusual because both of us, like, you're a very big Borderlands fan.
I love Borderlands.
And it's by Gearbox.
Yeah. And I just felt clunky and weird. I didn't spend a whole lot of time with it though, to be fair.
Okay.
So maybe it was just one of those things like finding the hero you like. And I think that's one of the things that's really cool about MOBAs.
Yes.
But also really detrimental is like you have to sit there and find the hero you like.
I don't think it's really that detrimental though. I think that like it's almost inclusive in a way because it's like there are so many different types of creatures. There are so many different types of play. There are so many, I think it's kind of fun, and it's almost, I kind of like the random aspect, like you can do that in Smite, they have like random ones that are free, and then they also have just like, a mode where you can play and it's random. And while it really sucks that, you know, like to get in there and you're like, oh man, I have to spend 30 minutes with this character that I kind of don't like. At the same time, it forces you to try a few out and, you know, and it's cool.
I meant as like from a new player perspective who isn't used to a MOBA, it's like sitting there and trying to be like, what do I want out of a character? Whereas like for me with MOBAs, I go in and I'm like, okay, I want somebody who can push a lane really well, and I want somebody who can take a lot of hits. So I want pushing tanks.
You like tanky characters,
I like pushing tanks. If they have the ability to knock out like big AoE attacks, that's me. Death Prophet in Dota, that's the reason I love her. She can't take a whole lot of hits, but I mean she.
You can build her up to be pretty good though. To be okay.
She's fairly beefy, yeah.
For what she is. Yeah, and you know, kind of going along with that, something else that could be kind of a negative thing is for people who are initially getting into it too. You pick 3 characters in a row that you're not good at, you're gonna hate the game and think the game's too hard.
Exactly.
Like, this is stupid, you know, like, why would anybody play this? I don't have the time to invest to get good in this. And, like, that's kind of how I felt with Dota for a really long time.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people who, like, watch videos and who just have all of these builds set out. And I was like, I don't have the time to invest to be that good. Yeah. You know, so... But then I found a few characters, like, I tend to like carries, I feel like. Like, Chaos Knight is the character that I probably play the most. And, like, once you find that and once you kind of fill the missing piece, as lame as that is, it's like, oh, this is fun now. You know?
Yeah, no, that's definitely what it is. And I think what's nice about these games is, like, Overwatch has, I think, 16 characters right now in the base game. That's a manageable amount. Yeah. Especially because you can go into the target range and you can mess with all their abilities and stuff, and like you don't have to worry about builds because there's no item buying, there's no ability upgrading and stuff like that. It's just, hey, do you like how this character plays? Yeah. So I think that's really the most straightforward out of the 4 of them. Smite has a huge roster of heroes.
Oh, Smite is insane.
Which I think is the opposite spectrum of Overwatch. It's just it can be overwhelming, especially because certain characters go into free rotation, so you're kind of forced to use certain characters until you can get enough points to buy characters you like. And you might, and even then, like you have to wait and like find a character in free rotation that you like, save enough points to buy them, and hopefully you actually really do like them.
That's why, honestly, I feel like, and I'm so jealous that Dan was playing Smite before me and snagged this deal, but you can spend $30 and you buy all current and future heroes. And that's honestly a really good deal because you are spending, I would say, probably less than $1 a hero because there's so many heroes. So, I mean, that's... it took so long time to get the points to...
that initial... expenditure, like a founder's pack kind of thing.
Yeah, and but what I was gonna say is I'm jealous of Dan because Dan bought it when it was on sale for 50% off, and for $15 I would definitely buy it. It's $30 arguably might be worth it too if you really like Smite. Yeah. So. And
Paragon has, I think, the most middle ground amount of characters. You have to unlock them slowly because like once you get your character profile up to like a certain level, it's like here's all the intermediate characters, here's all the advanced characters. So you start out with just the easy ones, which even the easy ones are probably 8 or so. Yeah. I think it gets up to about 16 like Overwatch. So I mean that's something like to kind of look at too. Is like Overwatch and Paragon are probably easier to manage. Yeah. Battleborn I think has 21 heroes. So it goes Overwatch, Paragon.
I feel like Smite
Battleborn Smite
is probably the most like the MOBAs that you would play on a computer game. On a computer. Like it has the most of that League of Legends Dota feel to it. Defense of the Ancients. I would say so.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Yeah. I think that's why I enjoy Smite. It's more closer to League of Legends because of the purchasing heroes things, whereas Dota's all their characters are free from the get-go. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a little bit closer to League. But no, I agree.
Yeah. I think that Paragon has a similar feel too. I think one of the things deterring me from playing Paragon, because I've watched you play, I feel like the spacing is really weird as far as like how far apart things are, and it doesn't seem like you can teleport, or did you figure out a way?
I couldn't figure out teleport function. That might just me not playing it enough though. But yeah, the map is huge, which is great if you don't have to run all the way back to use the store.
Yeah.
Every single time. Dota solved that, and League solved that problem putting it inside stores.
Yeah.
And the mystery shops.
Yeah. And that would even work. Like, and you know what? They're in beta, so it's...
I mean, it's, like I said, they're not even, like, Paragon
They're
hardly...
stress testing.
Yeah, they're stress testing. They're
testing
done.
so they're done. I thought they meant like it was before beta.
No, stress testing is like, hey, we're making sure these servers can handle this load.
Oh, wow.
So, like, they're done with it. They're not tweaking it anymore.
And that's kind of a little... Because I thought they would be tweaking it a little bit more.
But, yeah, we got Battleborn and Overwatch both this month. Smite and Paragon, I think, are both getting their official releases between June and August. So, within 4 months or so, we're getting 4 big MOBA games.
Yeah.
And, like... We keep grouping in Overwatch into this, and very loosely. Once again, just strictly because of like this is what the character is.
Yes.
Play it. It's not like I said, Battlefront or Battlefield or anything like that, where it's like pick your loadout and go. It's like no, this is your loadout. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And you're super
maybe like a little Team Fortressy.
It's
kind of Team Fortressy.
No, it's like that's actually closer to than a MOBA.
So I don't want you to get to like don't misunderstand. I guess because like some of them are kind of MOBA-y, and then that one's a little Team Fortressy. But just basically online multiplayer fighting type games is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think the thing that we're focusing here on is, and we've said this a couple times, is like these are your characters.
Yes, they have a set roster
and a set role.
And like, a set role.
This is what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, you don't just like pick a character and you're like, oh, you're gonna be a sniper or you're gonna be a shotgun wielder. Yeah, it's like no, this is like what they do. This is how they are. This is their loadout. Find the one that suits you. So
I think it's cool that we're finally seeing all these MOBAs finally come to console. And I think a lot of it is because League and Dota had such a big following on PC.
You're so full of yawns today.
Jeez.
I have a question going off of that though, since they are so big on PC. Do you think that competitions like are really huge? Competitions are huge in in League of Legends and Dota. Do you think that these games, any of them, are going to be the next competition games?
No, I know.
It has a different feel than PC.
It does. There's a lot more, especially with the League and Dota being over the top and being clickable. There's a lot more strategy they can implement by looking at the battlefield that way. Whereas with Paragon and Smite, it's third person. With Overwatch and Battleborn, it's first person. There's only so much strategy you can invoke that way. I mean, I'm sure like there's going to be people who excel at this and really good strategies and teams that really develop and they're like, this is what we're going to do. But with Dota and League, I think the big thing is like you have that bird's eye view and you can watch the battle and you can really coordinate stuff very well and you have that precise clicking and that targeting system that...
I also think that just the culture between console gamers and like PC gamers is so incredibly different that there's no way it would be PC master race, that whole thing. You know what I mean? Like it's a different culture. It really is.
No,
they are a completely different type of game user. And media consumer. So, but I think that wraps you up for my topic. So did you want to go on to yours?
Yes, let's do that. So for my topic, and we brought our topics kind of together. We talked about it before we started filming, and we kind of realized we did kind of a little bit of a role reversal.
Yes.
Because I like MOBAs probably more than you do. I like Dota a lot more.
Yes.
But you like Nintendo a lot more than I do.
I love Nintendo.
I like Nintendo, don't get me wrong, but you like Nintendo.
I do. Do you see the way my face is aglow? I love Nintendo.
Yes, you do. And so last week, Nintendo decided to drop bombs and be like, this is what we're doing. And everyone's like, oh, all right. And they did it in the middle of the night, which I mean, in America, it's like 2 a.m. I remember...
He's just like all about being pet right now. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I just...
Very fine.
He will not let my hand go back to the table. So you're going to have to deal with this.
That's fine. So yeah, like middle of the night in America, normal time in Japan.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, NX, March 2017. Legend of Zelda, March 2017. Sorry, 2016. NX isn't going to be at E3. Zelda is going to be at E3. And then they did the Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing mobile games, which let's see how it turns out. Gonna be better than Miitomo, definitely. Miitomo was fun for like a week. And then...
Miitomo is just an empty... It's empty.
It's
you know
a
what I
social
mean?
media game, which is just like... Why?
It's like, it's kind of a cool concept, but it's like... After you answer all these questions... I don't know. It's like, I felt like if they incorporated different things into it and made the questions just like one of 3 fun things that are... it's like that's the central foundation for the app, and it's really boring.
Yeah,
after
about
the
a week,
initial,
yeah.
like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even last a week. I think I used it twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Oh, I want to see what my friend Chris said his favorite color is. And then, like, it
You're
just
like, wait, I
wears.
don't care.
Well, no, I do. Like, I like it. I like seeing it. It's kind of funny, like, the pictures. Like, there's a lot of, like, this whole, like, funny irony that people do on there, you know? And so it's kind of like, who can crack the best satirical joke?
Yeah.
And it's cool, but it's not a game.
No,
it's not even really worthy of an app. It's like...
Yeah.
So...
But anyway,
yeah, going on to the other apps, and just Nintendo news in general.
Yes, so Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing I think could be fun.
I'll pet you.
Okay.
I'll pet you.
I think they could be fun, especially not Animal Crossing. Fire Emblem Mobile seems very natural.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big news was the NX release month.
Yes.
They narrowed it down finally. They officially acknowledged it.
Yes.
First of all, because we've been hearing about this for forever, and they're officially like, yeah, this is a thing.
Yes.
And then they moved Zelda out of 2016 and again. Moved it out of.
It was supposed to be 2015.
Yeah, they just keep pushing it back, and they're saying March 2017.
I mean, I believe them this time with the NX coming out, and so like I believe it will be 2017.
And it's gonna be cross launch with Wii U as well.
Yes, it's gonna come out for Wii U and it's gonna come out for NX, and like.
Now, I'm curious to see if they keep the name NX because they're saying yes, the Nintendo NX is coming, but they're not. They haven't shown anything, and that is the code name in house for it. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep that name.
I kind of, weird as it is, I kind of like the name the NX.
I do too.
I think it's kind of a throwback to the old, like, SNES and NES.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like an older kind of retro system.
And at the same time, it's very edgy, which is something that Nintendo needs right now.
Do you think, that's a sub question though, do you think Nintendo needs to be edgy?
I think Nintendo needs to stop calling things the Wii and the Wii U. Because I remember when the biggest problem with when the Wii U was announced is everybody was like, well, is this an add-on to the Wii?
Yes.
Or is it, what is this?
I'm a gamer and I was confused by that at first.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
oh wait,
people
this
that
is
are
like
still
another console?
I mean, granted, they're usually parents, but they're still confused by what this is. So I think the NX is like, yeah, I think it's a little edgier.
It establishes
the
itself
PlayStation.
as a different thing.
Yes, which I think is really important because
I'm so glad they're getting away from the Wii name.
Yeah, the Wii sold like hotcakes because it was like motion gaming, lots of fun. It's gonna be great. Your grandma had one, like everyone had one.
Wii bowling.
Yeah, Wii bowling, one of the best-selling consoles of all time. And you go to the Wii U and it's just like,
yeah,
like I think they're expecting to sell like. I think they said like 8,000 units this year.
Yeah.
That's insane. It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Why are you selling only expecting to sell 8,000 units? That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they need to get away from the Wii name.
I think so too. I think that getting away from the Wii name and going back to something that sounds more like, I don't know. Wii just kind of is a lame name anyway.
Oh, yeah,
sorry. Like when I came out, I was like, "This is kind of a stupid name." You go from GameCube to Wii.
I think the Wii was really supposed to emphasize like the party aspect of it, like the Wii, like Wii as a collective, and
I think that is what they were going for. Like to me, honestly, like the NX sounds like the next step from the GameCube.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like that's what it should be. Like you had Nintendo, Super Nintendo,
N64,
N64, and then GameCube, and then the NX. Like doesn't that just sound better?
I mean,
like that sounds.
I
cooler.
like the idea that the NX almost sounds like Next too.
Yeah.
Like we're moving past this. Like we realized that the Wii U was a flop. We got lucky with the Wii, and it tapered off sales tapered off at the end. The Wii U was a flop. We need to move on.
Yes.
Like, it's almost like the name itself is acknowledging the fact that like this is it.
Yes.
Like, and this is really their last shot.
You think so?
Yeah. It was revealed that.
They're hemorrhaging.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and they made a ton of money from the Wii, and they've been sitting on that. But like R&D for the Wii U and now for the NX, like that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
They revealed. It was revealed this week that PlayStation Network made more money last year than all of Nintendo.
Which is really bad. That's really hard.
That's not PlayStation 4 sales.
Yeah,
that's not
just physical network.
Games. That's just the network. Made more money than all of Nintendo last year.
That's so crazy.
That's sad.
That is sad.
And like it's sad for Nintendo. And it's sad for the gaming community in general.
It is. Because I honestly think that Nintendo is like such a strong foundation and pillar for gaming. Like I firmly will. I think that you can't really be appreciative of gaming as a whole if you don't appreciate Nintendo to a certain extent. Like they were like pioneers in this. You know what I mean? So
and in a sense they still are.
Yeah, they are. You know, like they always are leading the charge. It's just like their methods of marketing and everything aren't necessarily always successful. And they don't have the best executed ideas.
I think I've heard this elsewhere. I completely agree. I think it's a lot of the old blood of Nintendo still being around and still calling the shots, and they're not letting these new people come in and make games. Like you're getting the people who like. They always say like the creator of Mario and Star Fox and Metroid are like it's a new game from them. It's like we get that. Let's let the people that have been influenced by these games for years make games.
I think it's just hard though. You know what I mean?
It is.
There's a mix that needs to be reached because there are in gaming right now, especially with developers, you have people who love the game and you have people who love the money and. To me, Nintendo has really always felt, and people might say differently about this, like they love the game. You know what I mean? They love their characters. They love the game. Yep. They hold on to that almost to a point in which they shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, you have games like, I'm sorry if this makes anybody irritated, but like Call of Duty and even to a certain extent, like stuff like Assassin's Creed, where it's it turns into a love of money, and like maybe there's like I don't want to say that because not everybody working on that game it feels like that. You know, people who put their time and they love the game.
The developers themselves, the publishers, the actual company like Ubisoft and EA, and
it turns into that, and it's like Nintendo needs to reach a point between like loving the game and like having these strong feelings and like this kind of like they need to let go of the past without fully embracing that future. Because they have to accept the fact that they need money. You know what I mean? Like you need to make what the people want.
I think part of it too is like it's kind of going with what I said is like they're letting these older developers who've been making games for Nintendo for years and have these beloved franchises work on the main series games, and they're letting these new developers like make, for example, like Sonic and Mario at the Rio Olympics. Like, why are they making that? Oh,
they need to cut that crap out. Honestly, like that is the stuff that like. Whenever I go to like look at Wii games or Wii U games, which is very infrequently because like I pretty much know like okay, I want a Legend of Zelda, Super Smash Bros. Like you know what I mean? Like all the big titles you hear.
Being like really the big one the last few years that wasn't like a traditional Nintendo game.
But like you just weed through all of this crap and it's like cooking simulator, like truck simulator, random sports game, like Wipeout,
game that came out on every other console. Like, why do I want to play it on an underpowered system? And I already own it on the other system.
That's something I want to talk about though. Is like apparently the NX is supposed to be as powerful as the PlayStation 4.
More powerful.
More powerful than the PlayStation 4. But they haven't released any specs on it, so this is just.
This is all dev talk, like leak spec stuff. I'm good. It's about time.
I believe that it probably will be.
I mean, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were outdated as soon as they came out.
Yeah.
They were already outdated before they came out.
Yeah.
Because they had to mass produce them, and they're not like computers where you can upgrade them. So I mean, it's been 3.5 years. So.
Gosh, has it been that long?
Yeah, because 2013. Yeah. So it'll be 3 years this fall.
That's crazy.
It'll be 3 years this fall. And so I mean, that's 3 years of technology, and it was already outdated when it came out. I mean, if the Wii U's not more powerful than the PlayStation 4, they're done.
Oh yeah.
The NX is done.
No, I wouldn't expect them to be any like I would say like on par is kind of what I felt like they would say, which is but like the fact that they are like no, it's gonna be better. And I believe them too. They don't seem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am, and I do want to touch on it just with your topic, like. I am one of those people who is kind of irritated about the Legend of Zelda situation. And I remember reading on Reddit right after this came out, like, this person was like, oh, people who are saying, people who are irritated, like, you just need to calm down and get over it because, like, you shouldn't buy any console for just one game. And, like, I didn't buy the Wii U for one game. There are plenty of games on it. I mean, I say plenty. There's like 5.
There's quite a few that were there.
That I wanted.
Yeah.
So I bought the Wii U because I was like, this will be fun for group things. This will be fun for Mario Kart and like Smash, Splatoon. You know, but the fact that they couldn't get a Zelda game out on this generation's console is like
a new Zelda game.
A new Zelda game. Because obviously you have Twilight Princess HD.
And Wind Waker.
I forgot Wind Waker, yeah. But like, come on. Really?
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I feel about it.
We saw the Zelda trailer 24. No, we saw it when the Wii when the Wii U was announced.
Yeah, they said they were talking about when the Wii U was announced that they were like, oh, the new Zelda game's going to be amazing on it. Like, where is it?
It was one of the tech demos.
It was a tech demo.
And then they started changing it around. They're like, we're gonna make it more like a Western RPG, which in itself is worrisome.
Honestly, I'm excited for that. I want to see it.
Excited.
Like,
I want to see
for
it.
being somebody who's like a huge Zelda fan and who likes them to stick to the formula, I'm excited to see it a little.
That's a point of contention between the two.
I know that is something we disagree on.
But yeah, that's actually a point of contention between the two of us because like I've only beat one Zelda game. I've played a lot of them though.
Yes.
Arguably most of them. And yeah.
Probably.
I think the only one I haven't played is like Zelda 2.
Yeah.
And the Oracle Seasons, Oracle Ages, and like actually most of the Game Boy ones. But I played all the main series console ones except for Zelda 2. And I just get tired of the formula. The whole
because it is very. It's like find 3 items, meet up with the boss. There's going to be a temporary setback. Now you need to find like 3 to 5 new items,
or up to 7.
It's like an odd number though. It's like 3, 5, 7.
Yeah, because in Ocarina it's the 7 medallions.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So you find those, and then you fight the boss again, and you win.
Yeah. At some point you get the Master Sword in there. Usually between the 2 like parts of the game, and that gets really boring to me. So I want to see a mix up too. I'm just worried about the whole Western RPG thing.
We'll see, because like they're talking about how it's going to be, or not talking. They're not talking about it. I shouldn't say that because there's rumors about how there'll be crafting.
Which there kind of was in Skyward.
Yeah, to a very small extent.
Yeah. There's also the possibility of having Link or you can choose Link and
a boy or a girl. Yeah. Which I hate the name Linkle, with a passion.
I think everyone unanimously agrees Linkle is a terrible name.
But you get to change the name. Like Link's name's always been changeable.
That's true.
Oh, there's gonna be voice acting.
That's where it might not be changeable.
So maybe it's not changeable anymore. That's kind of what led me to that thought. Yeah.
Side quests, and like big open world we can run, which has been around since Ocarina, but bigger.
So we'll see, because that was like people's problem with like Twilight Princess and stuff like that. Is it kind of feels like a hallway, because while it is open world, and Ocarina's even kind of like that too. While it is open world, you really can't go very many places. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for it. Like Zelda is one of those game series that really hasn't ever let me down. Like very much. Like Wind Waker, and I know that a lot of people disagree with this. It's just not my art style. I'm not into it. I'm not. It's just not for me. But even so, like it's not a bad game. It's like they've never really had a game to where I've just been like, this is bad.
The only reason I didn't finish Wind Waker is honestly because like collecting those Triforce pieces got so tedious. Yeah. And like there's like. That's
the thing for you is like, and that's a difference between us as a gamer. I think that you get worn out of stuff quicker than I do, because I can play Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley and do the same thing over and over again. And like maybe with Zelda, like I think it's just a personality thing. Like I'm okay with doing the repetitive tasks, and I think that you tire out a bit easier.
I do, most definitely. But yeah, Nintendo's got to get this right.
They do.
I'm excited to see what they show at E3, because they're not, like I said, not showing the NX at all. Apparently they're not having a Nintendo, they just announced today they're not having a Nintendo Direct during their time, which is the first time in years where they haven't done a Nintendo Direct, and they're not having a press conference. So I don't know what they're doing during their time slot.
We'll see.
But
Zelda, when is E3 this year? Coming up in next month?
Yeah, 14th through the 16th, I think.
I'm so excited.
I looked up today.
Actually, I'm going to be gone.
You will be gone. I will be here holding down the fort, watching coverage.
I'm going to be gone that entire time.
I'm going to have to train my schedule to work until 8 a.m. and then be awake until 6 p.m. and sleep from 6
Yeah, because, oh my gosh. So that's going to be, because I'm really excited for E3. Yes. I might do like something from, I'm going to be in California at the time, so.
Yeah, you'll be in the home of E3.
I will be at the home of E3. Maybe I'll just go to it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo's got to get this right. If not, they're going to turn to they're going to go to a Sega route,
They're going to go the Sega route,
which is stop developing hardware and start pimping out your IPs for the other systems.
Oh, and God, wouldn't that be depressing? Though I feel like actually maybe if Sony or like somebody got their like. What if like Naughty Dog got their hands on
No. Like, no, Nintendo would still make the games, but they would make it for the other consoles, is what I'm saying.
But what about like with, but no, because Sega doesn't still make Sonic games and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do? I thought that...
They're all just terrible.
Oh, I thought they had just like given them to other companies.
No, they're just bad.
Like Marvel with like Spider-Man, like just giving it to Sony.
No. Like it's still under like the Sega.
Well, I'm uninformed.
Well, it's still under the Sega name and it's like distributed by Sega, but like other developers work on it, but they still technically own it, kind of thing, and then they release it to.
See, but like that's what I'm saying. I guess like another developer working on it though, like wouldn't that be
Nintendo
cool?
wouldn't let any other developer work on it. They just stopped making hardware and started making it for other.
Well, that's I'm just saying in a hypothetical world.
Yeah,
You're like not having fun with the situation.
No.
Like I'm just saying, hypothetically, imagine if like another company got a hold of like Link.
Yeah.
Imagine like dark, edgy Mario.
Christ.
I'm joking. Oh, Bruce. Hi.
Okay, Bruce is telling us we need to wrap it up.
Yes, I guess so.
I'm gonna go play Witcher.
Okay. Are you gonna give them 3 false endings first?
Yeah.
He's the king of false endings.
Show's over. No, I'm really excited about that.
There you go.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do. Stop, please. He's mad.
I'm excited too. I think I'm gonna go play some games also.
Yeah. Really, I'm gonna go sleep because it's
okay.
we're recording this in the middle of the day, which we don't ever do. Bruce.
Yeah, we usually record at night.
Bruce
is really mad at
when
us.
people are off work, but since it's just the two of us, we just found time to do it.
Yeah. And this is honestly just a heads up for the weekend too. Subtrending is going to be like this also.
Yes.
I think it's just going to be the two of us. Just because Taylor is going to be busy. She's going back home for a little bit after school.
Still gone.
Thomas and Emily are still gone. Dan has his graduation.
Yes.
So it's just going to be us.
Yeah, just going to be us this week. So
expect to see these two faces quite a bit.
Yes, and then back to the iron couch.
And then back to the iron couch. And that'll be hopefully everybody again.
Yes.
So, or at the very least just Thomas and Emily.
Yep.
So
Dan should be around too.
Okay.
I think. We'll see.
Yes.
Anyway. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the website at subtrendy.com, like us on Facebook, and all that jazz. This is your third and final ending. I'm Andrew, this is Jessica. You've been watching the Gameswell Show, Subtrendy's video game show. Join us next Thursday, and we will be talking, I'll probably be talking about Uncharted 4.
I may or may not be here.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yep.
That sounds like very ominous, but I just don't know if I'm going to be on the show next week.
Yeah, we don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, check us out next week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Alright, bye.
Oh, so I don't know if anybody else has been playing this lately. Having quite a bit of fun.